What's going on, Misfit Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Matt the Misfit. This is your Monday Night Raw review for October the 16th, 2023. Triple H cooks once again. Please let this be the thing going forward. I've never been a fan of higher up people before, but after last week, Ari Email, or whatever you want to call his name, however the fuck you pronounce his name, he's my favorite person running TKO right now. He took the old man and said, get the fuck out of creative position here. Triple H has been cooking, emphasis on the women's division. I love to see it. Again, I said this last week, people should probably apologize to Triple H for the booking of the women's division. We see great matches throughout the night here. Nakamura and Ricochet tore it up in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Ricochet decides to do a dive off the balcony. That was cool. Gunther and Bronson Reed slapped some meat. That was awesome. We got new tag team champions, which in my opinion is the right decision because I don't think Judgment Day should have lost the titles. And some other things that we're going to talk about. But first, let's hit that like button. Hit that comment section down below. Type in the comments whatever you want about this review. Hit the subscribe button. YouTube.com/@MisfitWrestlingPodcast. You can follow the social medias at PileDriverPulse on Twitter. You can also go to the other audio outlets: Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Audible, Pandora, and also, I forgot to mention, Instagram, Misfit Wrestling Pod, and all that goodness. We put up yesterday the Pile Driver Pulse, where we went over a lot of things that happened on yesterday, rather. We talked about the Stardom God's Tag League opening round. Talk about Tam Nakano and Azumi being pulled from the shows that they had this weekend. Great news on that. Azumi seems to be cleared to wrestle. Seems like she's going to be wrestling in the next couple of days. Good to see that. Talked about the strategy meeting. Historic Crossover 2 was announced and all that stuff there. The expansion to Thailand and Singapore. I did forget to bring this up during the episode that New Japan will not feature Stardom as part of this year's Wrestle Kingdom 18. They'll have their own show a couple hours before Wrestle Kingdom, so you'll be able to watch Stardom and Wrestle Kingdom. That show will be main evented by whoever the IWGP Women's Champion is on that very same night. We talked about Nick Aldis becoming the SmackDown General Manager on Friday night. Saya Kamatani, her injury update. We talked all about that. War Games being confirmed by multiple sources for Survivor Series, MLW and AEW's partnership and all that stuff. All that stuff is on the Spotify and all that stuff here. You can just look that up. Link is down in the description down below. Monday Night Raw kicked off the season premiere on Monday Night Raw. Kicked off with Sami Zayn. He welcomes the fans to the season premiere of Monday Night Raw. Says it feels weird for him to be out here in the ring by himself after it was announced on Friday that Kevin Owens was the person traded to SmackDown for Jey Uso. He says that he said that their partnership has ended the way it did, but he's also excited for Kevin Owens to be on and do stuff for himself and also for Sami himself. Says that he's able to stand on his own 2 feet now and show the world that he is world champion level superstar. Points out that Jey is the reason Owens is not on Raw any longer, and confesses that while no one is happier to see him move brands, he struggles. He's struggling a bit with it now. He says that their Undisputed Tag Team title reign was tainted by the Judgment Day, and he has mixed emotions about Finn Balor and Damian Priest getting a rematch tonight. Says that the last year of his career has been by far the best one he's had, and he thanks all the fans for it. The Judgment Day come out because, of course, it's Monday Night Raw. They always got to interrupt. Balor, Priest, Rhea, and Dominic make their way to the ring. Balor mockingly points out that Sami is alone. Priest says one thorn in the side of the Judgment Day has now been removed. Uh, Dominic Priest starts getting heated, starts speaking Spanish, and Rhea calms down, tries to calm down. Priest says that he needs to focus on tonight. Dominic puts over and says how Rhea will defeat Shayna Baszler later on tonight. Ripley says that Priest and Baszler will regain the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. Rhea points out that Sami looks lost while they used to recruit the lost. They have a different plan for him. Rhea says that they want to get rid of him permanently before the start surrounding the ring. Jey Uso comes down to the ring with two chairs in his hands, gives one to Sami. Those two stand tall as the Judgment Day leave the ring. We're getting ready for a Ricochet versus Nakamura, who's going to start off the night with wrestling wise here. But before that, Jay is approached with Sami, asks if the two of them are good. Zayn says that Owen should be the one having his back rather than Jay. And while he wants to be happy for him, Jay has everything going on for him because of all that stuff with the tag titles and all that stuff. But Sami says he has nothing because of Jay. Jay says he didn't realize Sami felt that way, but assures you that he's still in his corner. Jay walks off. Sami then pushes the ladder over, chases after Jay, apologizes for what he said, explaining that he's had a tough week. Says that he said he's happy for Jay, then offers him his hand. They both hug it out and continue chatting on. Then we got Nakamura defeating Ricochet. Falls Count Anywhere match. This was actually a lot of fun here. Man, at one point here, so we go to the back here. I thought this was pretty funny here. There is Shane Helms is in the background, and Ricochet is going back through the crowd, going back through Gorilla here. It's stand back Hurricane. Ricochet is coming through. I thought that was pretty funny. Ricochet and then Nakamura started brawling up to the balcony area there, and Ricochet delivers a moonsault off on the ring. Well, that's actually more of a 450 off the balcony. Nakamura throws popcorn onto Ricochet, sends him crashing into the barricade spine first, because that's when Nakamura is working on those stuff there. Nakamura pulls out a table, then two pairs of nunchucks from underneath the ring. He starts beating the shit out of Ricochet with the nunchucks, which is pretty funny here. Nakamura sets up the table, then clears off the announce desk. Ricochet sets him up on top of the table. He's into the top rope. Nakamura rolls off, lands to go to sleep onto Ricochet. Back inside the ring, Ricochet delivers a 450 splash to Nakamura on the ring apron. The two teeter on the top rope before Nakamura pushes Ricochet off the top of the rope through the table on the outside, and then Nakamura hits the Kinshasa for the 3, and Nakamura hopefully tries to regain that momentum that he somewhat lost after losing to Rollins last Saturday at Fastlane. So I thought this was a lot of fun. Nakamura needed this win a lot more than Ricochet did, because Ricochet was not coming off of 2 pay-per-view losses to the world champion. Shinsuke was, and Shinsuke I think needed this a little bit more than Ricochet. And if you hear a tapping, I apologize. The headphone I got has a microphone attached to it, and it keeps hitting the microphone. So I apologize. Backstage, we got Chelsea Green and Piper Niven interrupt. Tegan Knox was chatting with Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter. And in the background, well, not in the background, but behind them on the crate is Nikki Cross, who hasn't been on television in quite a while now. Let's see how long Nikki Cross has actually been on television here. Let me do some the last time Nikki Cross wrestled a match was July 17th, where she lost to Shayna Baszler in 19 seconds. Since then, she's been wrestling on main event. But it was nice to see Shayna. It's nice to see Nikki Cross back on television. They started going on about that stuff. Piper Niven getting ready for her match with Natalya. This is all right. This was done to make Piper look good. Piper, delivers a hair whip and then a low crossbody for the win. And Piper Niven gets the win to look dominant here, going against Natalya. So that was pretty good here. So, and I'll run down. That was, let's see. That was 6 women to start the show there on one segment, because that's not all there. After the match, Piper Niven and Chelsea Green are starting to beat down Natalya. Tegan Knox runs on the ring to provide a helping hand, chasing off the tag team champions. Then we head backstage to see Judgment Day talking strategy for the respective matches tonight. Rhea walks in and Priest asks where she's been. She said Rhea gives him a vague answer saying she's been taking care of Judgment Day business. Dominic asks her if he needs him at ringside tonight for an upcoming match with Shayna. Rhea assures him that she'll be fine handling things alone. Then we got Seth Rollins coming out. This is great. This is a very good promo here. Seth Rollins welcomes fans again to Monday Night Rollins, addresses the confrontation he had with Drew McIntyre last week and what occurred when Damian Priest and Dominic tried to get involved. He explains that he was confused by McIntyre's actions and then calls him out to the ring. McIntyre comes out, explains that wanting to help Rollins explains that he wants Rollins at Crown Jewel at 100%. Doesn't mean he'll be babysitting Rollins for the next couple of weeks. Rollins says he can handle his own business questions if the same can be said for McIntyre, and McIntyre invites him to elaborate. Rollins calls for a video to be played of Adam Pearce chatting with Ricochet, pointing out that McIntyre was having a conversation with Rhea Ripley in the background. McIntyre claims that Rhea approached him, and they discuss what they discuss is none of Rollins' business. Says that Rollins should be worried about losing the World Heavyweight Championship. Rollins assures McIntyre that that the title is not going anywhere. He says that McIntyre has had big success and many failures, with Lara causing him to recruit some help from the Judgment Day. Rollins warns him not to get tangled up with the group, and McIntyre basically says that he doesn't need anyone to fight his battles for him. He Drew addresses Rollins' shortcomings with the bloodline, and Rollins becomes fired up, tells McIntyre to move on from the bloodline, and says, unlike Rollins, he doesn't need a crutch like a song. Talking about need a crutch, that's McIntyre talking about Rollins using a song to get over and all that stuff here. And Drew basically alluding to the Broken Dream song, which I think he's going to come back with when he becomes a heel. So it says his WrestleMania moment came in an empty arena, and he stepped up when WWE needed somebody to. He says he's captured Lightning in the Bottle at Clash of the Castle, only to be screwed over by the Bloodline. Says that that will happen once more at Crown Jewel when he becomes the new World Heavyweight Champion. Rollins says he understands exactly how McIntyre feels, but he's heard a bunch of excuses. Says that McIntyre won't go anywhere, or won't get anywhere when he beats him, and at the upcoming pay-per-view at Crown Jewel, and it will be the best thing to happen to him because he will have no one to blame but himself. Ooh, that's some fiery stuff. There was at one point McIntyre said to Rollins, and when I beat you, you have to reinvent yourself for the 500th time, or something like that. That was pretty cool here. Johnny Gargano took on Ludwig Kaiser. This is Johnny Gargano's first. I think this was John. Let me see. I want to say it was first match on Raw since May. Let me look here. Yeah, May 15th. He was in a Intercontinental Championship Battle Royal that was won by Mustafa Ali, and he hasn't been on television since. I mean, wrestling wise, this is his first match back here. This was a funny little match here. Johnny Gargano didn't win, unfortunately, because Giovanni Vinci got involved here, poked Gargano in the eye after Gargano hit the one final beat to get the pin. But like I said, referee distracted. Vinci poked him in the eye. Gargano went after him, and then obviously Kaiser hit his DDT off a distraction, and then pins Gargano for the win here. Then we go to backstage with Drew McIntyre chatting with Sami Zayn. Warned him about giving Jey Uso an instant second chance, and Zayn says that they don't see eye to eye on him. Tells McIntyre that it's time to let the bloodline go. Says, and he's the only one who thinks Jey hasn't changed. Says that he knows how it feels and how hard it is to let the bloodline go. McIntyre says you really couldn't know how he feels if he's ever been world champion. Ooh, damn. Zayn then challenges him to a one-on-one match next week that would as a means of proving him wrong. So we're going to have Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn, which sounds like a lot of fun. Sign me up for that. Rhea Ripley heads down, grabs the mic, dresses Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, and Raquel Rodriguez, makes it clear that this division is hers, and she'll always be on top. Shayna comes down right. This match was fine. Like, this match was getting good until Nia Jax came in. There was a spot in this match I thought was pretty cool here, very smooth. So Rhea tried to go for the Riptide. Mid Riptide, Shayna countered that into an armbar. It was smooth as hell. It was awesome here. But obviously, Nia came out and all that stuff there. Then Raquel came out. Then Zoe Stark came out. And we get all this stuff happening here with all that. And we find out that because following that, later on in the night, Rhea came into the office and said, what are you going to do about all of this here? And Adam Pearce, being the new Raw General Manager, said, well, we're going to make it a 5-way match for the championship at Crown Jewel. So it's going to be Rhea Ripley defending against Nia Jax, Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler, and Raquel Rodriguez. So, and then that means Shayna Baszler can go to Saudi Arabia. So that sounds like a lot of fun. See what happens there. Well, okay, it's not fun for seeing Nia Jax on the show, or Raquel for that matter. But seeing Shayna Baszler go over to Saudi sounds like a lot of fun there. So there is that. Becky Lynch is backstage with Adam Pearce because earlier on in the night, Becky walked into Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. They were asking about a championship match. She said, I'll talk to Adam Pearce here. She run into Rhea to tease more of that eventual WrestleMania match here. And Becky says that Pearce basically made it official that next week on Raw it's going to be Indy Hartwell challenging Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. Or not Raw Women's Championship, the NXT Women's Championship, excuse me. Xia Li then walks in and says, where's her title shot is? And making it clear that it will be on her time. So I'm excited to see what I had this weird dream, right? So I want to put this up before I move on here. I had this awkward and it's not awkward, but it's a bizarre dream that I had that Xia Li and Wendy Chu came back as Tian Shaw, and Xia Li won the championship or something like that. It was very awkward. It was a very weird dream. I don't know how that fucking happened, but it happened. It was very weird. Jade Cargill enters as she leaves and takes note of Becky's title and all that stuff here. She says, get in line. This says Becky Lynch. Gunther defends and defeats Bronson Reed for the Intercontinental Championship. This is awesome. Gunther and Reed go back and forth with chops on one another. Reed eventually lands a kick and a power slam, follows up with a Death Valley driver, which we saw earlier in the night. So nicely, Death Valley driver is being used on television. Looks for a senton. Actually looks for the tsunami splash. Gunther gets his knees up before both men wind up on the top rope. Reed executes a superplex. Gunther delivers a drop kick and a clothesline, sends to the top rope, delivers a splash, then hits a powerbomb for the win, and Gunther retains the Intercontinental Championship. That was some good stuff to see. I love seeing these two hosses beat the shit out of each other. Some good stuff here. Adam Pearce, like I said, I mentioned that whole thing with the thing from Adam Pearce and Rhea Ripley, all that stuff there. They see a bizarre segment here with the Alpha Academy being in a gym where Maxine Dupree is doing something with Otis as Akira Tozawa is lifting some 2-pound dumbbells. This eventually leads to the New Day coming in, and a match between the two is created for next week. So that sounds like a lot of fun. New Day versus Alpha Academy. That should be a lot of fun here. Then we got the main event here. Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes defending the tag team titles against the Judgment Day. This match was awesome. These two always have this match was fine. Was better. I thought this match was better than the match at Fastlane, if I'm being honest there. At one point, Priest clears the announce desk while Jey is sitting at the top rope. Dominic looks to push him off while the referee is distracted. Jey fights him off, goes flying. Baszler gets the knees up, goes for a pin. Jey kicks out. Sami then runs down to the ring to neutralize him, sending him crashing into the ring post. Priest then sends Sami into the ring, crashing into not the ring post, but the steel steps. Cody dumps Priest into the crowd, looks to tag in, but Baszler knocks Cody off the ropes here. Baszler, while the referee doesn't see this, Priest low blows Cody into the crossroads, in his own crossroads, delivers the Razor's Edge onto him through the announce table. Jey goes flying to take out Priest. Baszler lands the sling blade and the missile dropkick, sends to the top rope, looks for the coup de grace. Jey gets moved out of the way. As the referee is distracted, Jimmy Uso then appears out of nowhere, taking a shot at his own brother. Then Baszler sends the top rope, hits the coup de grace, and we got new tag team champions. So we're gonna figure out how this is setting up the War Games match. It does seem like the alliance between the Judgment Day and the Bloodline is still going strong based off what happened not last week, but the week before, prior to Fastlane. So, that's why it seems like it's going on in here. So, and overall, I thought Raw, again, it was a solid episode. I thought last week was better, but this week was still very good. Triple H continues to cook, and if this is what happens when you don't have a 78-year-old grizzled old fuck, in creative, in your ear, breathing down your neck. You correct these type of television shows. If hopefully we get the same thing on Friday. So who knows there. But until then, I will see you guys back here for AEW Dynamite. And we'll see what happens there. Kenny Omega will take on Kyle Fletcher on that show. Let me see if I can pull up the card for AEW Dynamite this coming week here. We have the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal for the ring here. We got Penta El Zero Miedo taking on Switchblade Jay White, Kyle Fletcher versus Kenny Omega. Jim Ross will sent down Wayne and his mom. Timeless Tony Starr will debut her new blockbuster film. Sting will address the fans. And on Rampage, Mystico will take on Rocky Romero. So there is all of that. But yeah, I've been Matt the Mister. This has been the Mister Wrestling Podcast. Until then, I will see you guys for Wednesday Night Dynamite. We're out. Bye.